You were not born to be noticed. You were born to be necessary. Stop right there. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm about to tell you to hide, to shrink, to disappear into some false humility that makes you feel spiritual but keeps you stuck. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this: the world is addicted to announcement, but greatness is married to silence. You want to be great? Then shut up and build. You want to be powerful? Then stop talking about your plans and start executing them in the dark where nobody's watching, nobody's clapping, and nobody's validating your every move. Let me tell you something that will change your life if you let it sink in. The most dangerous person in any room is not the loudest, it's the quietest. It's the one who's been building while everyone else has been talking. It's the one who's been studying while everyone else has been partying. It's the one who's been preparing in private for a moment that's coming in public. You see, noise is the refuge of the insecure. Silence is the workshop of the wise. I've watched people destroy their own destiny by announcing it too early. I've seen dreams die in the comment section. I've witnessed potential abort itself on social media because someone needed likes more than they needed growth. And here's the painful truth. When you announce your plans to people who have not paid the price you're willing to pay, you invite their limitations into your possibilities. You open the door to their doubt, their fear, their jealousy, and their unbelief. Not everyone is qualified to speak into your future. Most people can't even handle their present. So here's rule number one: guard your process like your life depends on it, because it does. When a woman is pregnant, she doesn't announce it on day one. She waits. Why? Because she knows that life is fragile in its early stages. She protects what's growing inside her. She's careful about what she eats, where she goes, who she's around. She understands that the seed is more important than the announcement. Your dreams are the same way. They're seeds. And seeds don't grow on the surface where everyone can see them and step on them. Seeds grow in the dark, in the dirt, in the hidden place where transformation happens without an audience. The problem with this generation is that we've been taught that if it's not posted, it didn't happen. If it's not shared, it has no value. If it's not celebrated publicly, it's not real success. That's a lie from the pit of hell designed to keep you shallow, distracted, and dependent on the applause of people who will forget you by tomorrow. You think you need their validation? You don't. You think you need their approval? You don't. What you need is discipline. What you need is focus. What you need is the courage to work in obscurity while you're building for visibility. I'm not telling you to be humble. Humility is not weakness. Humility is not hiding your gifts. Humility is knowing where your gifts came from and refusing to prostitute them for attention. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence says, I know who I am, and I don't need to prove it to you. Arrogance says, I need you to know who I am because I'm not sure myself. Let me take you somewhere. Imagine a lion in the jungle. The lion does not announce its presence. The lion does not roar before it hunts. The lion moves silently, strategically, patiently. The roar comes after the victory, not before. But look at the dog. The dog barks at everything. The dog barks at the mailman, at the wind, at its own shadow. Noise without power. Announcement without authority. Don't be a dog, be a lion. Hunt in silence, win in silence, build in silence. Now here's where people get confused. They think silence means isolation. They think building privately means you can't have mentors, can't have accountability, can't have support. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be selective, be intentional. Show your work to people who have the capacity to add to it, not subtract from it. Show your blueprint to builders, not critics. Share your vision with visionaries, not spectators. There's a difference between getting counsel and getting commentary. Counsel sharpens you. Commentary distracts you. Rule number 2, stop seeking permission from people who don't understand your assignment. You were designed by a manufacturer who put specific gifts, talents, abilities, and potential inside you. You are not random. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. Even if your parents didn't plan you, there was a purpose that called you into existence. That purpose is your assignment. And here's what you need to understand about assignments. They're specific. They're customized. They're unique. What you're called to do, nobody else can do exactly the way you can do it. Your fingerprint is different from every other fingerprint in history. Your DNA is different. Your voice is different. Your perspective is different. So why are you trying to get approval from people who aren't even on your path? I've seen incredibly gifted people waste decades of their lives waiting for someone to tell them they're ready, waiting for someone to give them a chance, waiting for someone to open a door. And meanwhile, they have the tools to build their own door, but they're too busy knocking on someone else's. Let me tell you something that's going to sting a little bit. If you're waiting for permission, you're living below your potential. If you need validation to start, you're not ready to finish. If you need someone to believe in you before you believe in yourself, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Now, don't misunderstand me. I believe in mentorship. I believe in learning from those who've gone before you. I believe in honoring those who paid the price. But there's a big difference between learning and limiting yourself. There's a big difference between respecting wisdom and rejecting your own voice. You can learn from someone without becoming a copy of them. You can honor their journey without abandoning yours. Here's what happens when you seek too much permission. You start editing yourself. You start second-guessing yourself. You start diluting your message to make it acceptable to people who were never meant to receive it in the first place. And before you know it, you've changed so much to fit into their box that you no longer recognize yourself. You've become a version of you that's acceptable to them, but unrecognizable to your purpose. The manufacturer didn't make you to fit in. The manufacturer made you to stand out. But standing out doesn't mean showing off. It means showing up as exactly who you were created to be, unapologetically, consistently, powerfully. When you're truly walking in your purpose, you don't have to announce it. People will feel it. When you're truly operating in your gift, you don't have to defend it. Results will prove it. Let me give you rule number 3. And this one's going to separate the boys from the men and the girls from the women. Fall in love with the process, not just the promise. Everybody wants the harvest, but nobody wants to plow the ground. Everybody wants the crown, but nobody wants to carry the cross. Everybody wants the stage, but nobody wants to struggle. That's why most people quit. They fall in love with the idea of success, but they don't fall in love with the work that success requires. They want the destination, but they despise the journey. And let me tell you right now, if you can't enjoy the process, you won't sustain the pressure of the platform. Success is not an event. Success is not a moment. Success is a lifestyle. It's a series of daily decisions that nobody sees. It's getting up when you don't feel like it. It's studying when you're tired. It's practicing when you're discouraged. It's showing up when nobody else is watching. The victory you see in public was won in private. The breakthrough you celebrate on stage was built in the basement. I remember when I was broken and bitter. I remember when I had more dreams than dollars, more vision than resources, more potential than proof. And I was angry. I was frustrated. I was looking at other people who seemed to have it easy, who seemed to have it all together, who seemed to be winning while I was losing. And I asked the question that many of you are asking right now. Why is this taking so long? Why am I still here? Why haven't I broken through yet? And then I learned something that changed everything. I learned that the delay is not a denial. I learned that the wait is not a waste. I learned that the process is not punishment, it's preparation. See, what you're going through right now is not meant to break you. It's meant to build you. What feels like a setback is actually a set up. What looks like a dead end is actually a detour to something greater. But here's the key. You have to shift your perspective. You have to stop seeing the process as something you have to endure and start seeing it as something you get to experience. Every challenge is teaching you something. Every obstacle is training you for something. Every closed door is protecting you from something. You're not stuck. You're being prepared. You're not forgotten. You're being positioned. Think about a seed. When a seed is planted in the ground, it doesn't look like progress. It looks like burial. It looks like death. It looks like the end. The seed is surrounded by darkness, by dirt, by pressure. But what's happening in the dark is far more important than what people see in the light. The seed is breaking open. The seed is changing form. The seed is developing roots. And those roots are going deep, anchoring the seed so that when the tree grows, it can withstand the storms. You in the seed stage. And I know it doesn't feel good. I know it doesn't look good. I know you're tired of the darkness, tired of the pressure, tired of being underground. But if you come up too soon, you'll abort your harvest. If you rush the process, you'll ruin the product. The tree you're becoming requires the roots you're developing. The height you're going to reach requires the depth you're going through. So stop complaining about where you are and start learning from where you are. Stop resisting the process and start respecting the process. God is not wasting your time. Life is not cheating you. You being prepared for something your current mindset can't even handle. You being built for a weight of glory that your present strength can't yet carry. Rule number 4, protect your peace like it's your most valuable possession, because it is. You cannot build in chaos. You cannot create in confusion. You cannot grow in an environment of constant noise, constant drama, constant distraction. One of the most important decisions you'll ever make is who and what you allow into your space. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every problem deserves your attention. Let me say that again, because some of you missed it. Not every problem is your problem. Not every battle is your battle. Not every argument is worth having. Some things you need to let go. Some people you need to let leave. Some situations you need to let die. You're not responsible for fixing everyone. You're not responsible for saving everyone. You're not responsible for convincing everyone. Your job is to steward your own life well, to protect your own peace fiercely, to guard your own energy wisely. I've watched talented people destroy their potential because they were too accessible. They were too available. They gave too much of themselves to too many people who didn't value what they were receiving. They let everyone in. They let everyone speak. They let everyone dump their problems, their pain, their negativity into their space. And then they wondered why they were so exhausted, so overwhelmed, so stuck. Boundaries are not selfish. Boundaries are sacred. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. Boundaries are gates to protect what's inside. You don't let everyone into your house. You don't give everyone the key to your car. You don't share your bank account with strangers. So why do you share your mind, your emotions, your time, your energy with people who haven't earned the right to access them? Some relationships are draining you. Some environments are limiting you. Some conversations are poisoning you. And you know it. Deep down, you know it. But you're afraid to make the hard decision because you don't want to hurt feelings. You don't want to seem mean. You don't want to be alone. Let me tell you something. Loneliness is better than bad company. Silence is better than toxic conversation. Peace is better than popularity. Jesus had 12 disciples, but only 3 went with him to the mountain. He loved everyone, but not everyone had the same access. He served the multitudes, but he retreated from the multitudes. He knew how to be present without being depleted. He knew how to give without giving everything. He protected his peace so he could fulfill his purpose. You need to do the same. You need to create space for yourself. You need to guard your mornings. You need to protect your mind. You need to be selective about what you watch, what you listen to, what you consume. Everything you allow into your ears is planting seeds in your heart. Everything you allow into your eyes is shaping your vision. Everything you allow into your space is influencing your spirit. Choose wisely. And here's the hard part. Sometimes the people you need to distance yourself from are people you love. Sometimes the relationships you need to reevaluate are relationships that once served you but are now stalling you. People grow at different paces. People move in different directions. And that's okay. You can love someone from a distance. You can honor someone without being bound to them. You can appreciate the season you shared without forcing a season that's over. Guilt will keep you stuck. Obligation will keep you stagnant. But wisdom will set you free. It's not cruel to outgrow people. It's not mean to move forward. It's not selfish to prioritize your peace. It's necessary. It's survival. It's stewardship. Now here's the final rule, and this is the one that ties everything together. Commit to becoming who you are, not what they expect. The greatest tragedy in life is not death. The greatest tragedy in life is living your entire life as someone else. The greatest waste is not failure. The greatest waste is succeeding at something you were never called to do. The greatest pain is not rejection. The greatest pain is accepting yourself based on someone else's rejection. You were born as an original, but most people die as a copy. They spend their whole lives trying to be someone else, trying to fit someone else's mold, trying to meet someone else's expectations. And in the process, they lose themselves. They forget who they are. They forget why they're here. They forget what they were created to do. Listen to me carefully. You are not here to live up to anyone's expectations. You are not here to fulfill anyone's agenda. You are not here to become what your parents wanted, what your friends expected, what society demanded. You are here to discover who you were before the world told you who to be. You are here to uncover the person you were designed to become before fear, before doubt, before comparison convince you to be someone else. The enemy of your destiny is not opposition. The enemy of your destiny is imitation. When you try to be like someone else, you insult your Creator. When you copy someone else's path, you abandon your own. When you measure your worth by someone else's standard, you reject the value you were given at birth. You don't need to be like them. You need to be like you. The world doesn't need another copy. The world needs the original version of you, the full version, the unedited version, the unapologetic version, the version that's not performing, not pretending, not pandering, the version that's powerful because it's pure, the version that's authentic because it's aligned. Here's what happens. When you commit to being yourself, you stop competing and you start creating. You stop comparing and you start contributing. You stop imitating and you start innovating. You realize that your lane is your lane. Your race is your race. Your assignment is your assignment. And nobody can run it the way you can run it. Some of you are called to build businesses. Some of you are called to build families. Some of you are called to build movements. Some of you are called to build people. Your assignment is not better or worse than anyone else's. It's just different. And different is not deficient. Different is divine. Different is by design. Stop apologizing for being different. Stop shrinking to make others comfortable. Stop dimming your light so others don't feel insecure. That's not humility. That's cowardice. That's self-sabotage. That's a betrayal of the gift inside you. You know what the world needs? The world needs you to be so committed to your purpose that you become unavailable for distraction. The world needs you to be so secure in your identity that you become unbothered by criticism. The world needs you to be so clear about your assignment that you become unshakable in your execution. I'm not telling you this will be easy. I'm telling you it will be worth it. I'm not telling you everyone will understand. I'm telling you the right people will recognize you. I'm not telling you the road will be smooth. I'm telling you the destination will be significant. Building yourself silently is not about hiding. It's about refining. It's about becoming so skilled, so prepared, so excellent that when your moment comes, you're ready. It's about investing in yourself when nobody's watching, so that when everyone's watching, you don't crumble under the pressure. It's about doing the work in private so you can handle the weight in public. You see, the crowd doesn't see the sacrifice. The audience doesn't see the struggle. The spectators don't see the sleepless nights, the rejected proposals, the closed doors, the financial pressure, the emotional breakdowns, the moments when you wanted to quit, they only see the result. They only see the success. They only see the breakthrough. And that's okay. Because the applause is not what sustained you. The attention is not what built you. The recognition is not what refined you. What built you was the commitment you made in the dark. What refined you was the discipline you practiced when you were alone. What sustained you was the faith you held on to when everything around you said, give up. That's what made you. That's what shaped you. That's what prepared you. So let me bring this home. Let me make this so clear that you can't misunderstand it. You have 5 rules, 5 principles, 5 commitments that will change your life if you apply them. Guard your process. Stop announcing every move. Stop sharing every plan. Stop seeking validation for every step. Build in silence. Grow in obscurity. Prepare in private. Stop seeking permission. You don't need everyone's approval. You don't need everyone's blessing. You don't need everyone's agreement. Move with confidence. Move with clarity. Move with conviction. Fall in love with the process. Stop being obsessed with the outcome and start being committed to the journey. Embrace the grind. Respect the wait. Trust the timing. Protect your peace. Cut off what drains you. Distance yourself from what distracts you. Guard what sustains you. Your peace is your power. Your environment is everything. Your circle determines your success. Become who you are. Stop trying to be like them. Stop measuring yourself by their standards. Stop living for their approval. You are enough. You are ready. You are called. These 5 rules are not suggestions. They're requirements. They're not optional. They're essential. If you want to build a life that matters, if you want to create something that lasts, if you want to fulfill the purpose you were born for, you have to commit to these principles. And let me tell you what's going to happen when you do. You're going to lose some people. Some people won't understand why you're not as available as you used to be. Some people won't like that you're no longer seeking their approval. Some people will call you proud, arrogant, distant. Let them. You're not building for them. You're building for your future. You're building for your children. You're building for the people who need what only you can create. You're going to face opposition. There will be moments when you question yourself. There will be days when you feel alone. There will be seasons when you wonder if it's worth it. In those moments, remember this. The pain you feel today is building the strength you'll need tomorrow. The struggle you're facing now is preparing you for the success you'll handle later. The test you're taking currently is training you for the testimony you'll share eventually. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't give up. You're closer than you think. You're stronger than you know. You're more prepared than you realize. The breakdown you experience was actually a breakthrough in disguise. The disappointment you faced was actually a divine appointment to redirect you. The delay you're frustrated with is actually a divine strategy to protect you. Everything is working together. Everything is working for you. Everything is working in your favor, even when it doesn't look like it, even when it doesn't feel like it. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the plan. You were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out. You were not created to follow. You were created to lead. You were not designed to be ordinary. You were designed to be extraordinary. And extraordinary doesn't mean flashy. Extraordinary means exactly what the word says. Extraordinary. Beyond ordinary. Above ordinary. More than ordinary. So build yourself silently. Build yourself strategically. Build yourself seriously. Work when they're sleeping. Study when they're scrolling. Prepare when they're partying. Invest when they're spending. Save when they're splurging. Grow when they're coasting. And one day, not too far from now, they're going to look up and see you standing in a place they didn't even know existed. They're going to ask you how you got there. And you're going to smile. Because you remember the nights they don't know about. You remember the sacrifices they didn't see. You remember the prayers they didn't hear. You remember the work you did in silence while they were making noise. That's the power of building silently. That's the beauty of trusting the process. That's the reward of becoming who you are. You don't have to announce your greatness. Your life will declare it. You don't have to defend your calling. Your fruit will prove it. You don't have to fight for your seat. Your preparation will secure it. So go, build, create, become. Do it silently. Do it seriously. Do it successfully. The world is waiting for who you're becoming. Your purpose is waiting for your preparation. Your destiny is waiting for your decision. Stop waiting for permission. Stop seeking validation. Stop making excuses. Start right now. Start right where you are. Start with what you have. Build yourself silently with these 5 rules and watch how loudly your life will speak